would be a great triad exercise song, and 3 really important chords that are used in pretty much every song you'll find, it seems like, right? G, D, and C. So we're just going to be doing each string set, right? Your G, B, and E, your A, D, and G, or I'm sorry, D, G, and B, A, D, and G, and E, A, and D. So the thing to pay attention to when you're doing these is, first of all, just stay on one string set for a while, right? Just like don't do the whole thing as one exercise. Just pick, like, okay, today I'm going to do the G, B, and E, and then do that every day for like a week, right? And after doing that, just 10-15 minutes every day, you'll really start to see these shapes, and it'll start to pay off, right? And there's a lot of things you can do with them, not just strumming them, but you can arpeggiate them. You can find all your licks out of them. There's stuff everywhere, right? And so it's important to see all that. And the other thing, the most important thing, is pay attention to where the root note is on every shape, right? So like on your D shape, your root's on the B string. When you do this kind of, call it like a backwards L shape, right? When you do this shape, your root's on the G string. When you're barring like this, same thing, your root's on the G. When you do like an E major chord, your root's on the A string. When you play a G like this, and you put your third on the bottom, your root's going to be on the B string, right? So just some examples, like pay attention to that. That way you can move them all around. And anyway, so let's get into it. So your first G, 4-3-3, and then you're gonna have your D major, 7-7-5, G, B, D. Take the same shape, go 2 frets down. Since we're working with C and D, every shape we do on D, everything's gonna be 2 frets apart, right? So then you go 5-5-3. Then you're gonna play the D shape of G major. 7-8-7. Okay, then we're going to play our D right here, 11-10-10, and go down 2 frets to 9-8-8. That'll be your C. Alright, then your G right here, again, root on the G string. Okay, you have 12-12-10. Alright, then we're going to play a regular D chord, 14-15-14. And then 12-13-12. That'll be your C major, right? Then we're going to go to D, G, and B string set, right? So you're going to have this triad 5-4-3. It's basically a short form of like playing this. Right, your bar form, So that'll be your G. And then instead of playing like your power chord like this, or your bar chord, we're just going to play the triad, leave out the root, right? So you have D, G, and B on 7 for your D major, D, G, and B on 5 for your C major. Alright, then your next G will be right here, right? Your root's going to be on the B string. So you have 8 on B, 7 on G, 9 on D. This and the D shape are the 2 most important shapes in my opinion, because this shape right here, it's basically this D shape of a G major chord, right? Except we're taking the 3rd B and we're putting it on the bottom on this D string. And why this is so important is because you can solo all these licks out of it. I mean, that's like half of what Jimi Hendrix does all the time, right? Right, so it's just all works out of that shape. And then you can find that shape out of every chord that you play over, right? So anyway, this will be your G. And then your D, we're going to play 12, 11, 10. And then 2 frets down for your C, 10, 9, 8. Then we're going to play your G right here, bar D, G, and B on 12. It's basically this without the root. See how they're all connected? So there's your G, and then we're going to play where the D's on the B string here, right? Third on the bottom. 2 frets down for your C. 14, 12, 13 on B. Alright, and then we're going to go to our A, D, and G. We'll start here at basically just playing this out of our bar chord. Just playing the triad. So you'll have 5 on A and D, 4 on G. Okay, and then we're going to go to this D right here. 5, 4, 2. Alright, this is another important shape because this is a good shape you can solo out of, right? It's a good thing to kind of sweep in and out of, right? Play licks from. Alright, so there's your D and then our C. It's the same shape, 2 frets down, but since we can't go any further, we have the open G. 3, 2, open G. Alright, and then we're going to play our G up here. 10, 9, 7, A, D, G. Okay, then we're going to play our D major right here. We're going to play, this is the first inversion, right? We have the F sharp on the bottom, the third. 9, 7, 7. 2 frets down to C major, first inversion. You have E on the bottom. Right, anytime you put the major third of a chord on the as the top note, that's going to be your first inversion, right? So when you walk up the scale, you're like C, D, E. We have E on top, right? Okay, then we're going to go up here, play G, first inversion of G, with your B on the bottom. 14, 12, 12. And you have your D triad, right out of the bar chord, right? 12, 12, 11. And 2 frets down to your C. 10, 10, 9. Alright, then we're going to go to E, A, D. And we're going to start with your G. 3, 2, open. Basically your G chord, right? Alright. Then our D, this is another good shape to know, right? So your E major shape, when you play it on this string set, your root's always on the D string. But when you play it on the E, A, and D string, your root's going to be on the A string, right? So anytime you want to play a major chord with your E shape on the top 3 strings, just have your root be on the A string. So you have 5, 5, 4 for your D major, and 2 frets down you have your C. 3, 3, 2. Alright. Then we're going to go 7, 5, 5. Again, you get your first inversion, G major, and B on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And from there, I'm going to go up here to 10, 9, 7. Alright. And that'll be your D major. This is another good shape to know, right? Because here's your D major, and it puts you right inside a D major pentatonic. Right? So it's a good thing to work on, right? So then you have 2 frets down, same shape, your C, right? Alright. And then from there, we're going to go up here, do our G major again. Or not G major. You have your G major is right here, 10, 10, 9. That E major chord, right? Where your root's on the A string. And then we're going to go to D major, 14, 12, 12. You got your first inversion where your third's on the bottom, that F sharp. Walk up the scale, 1, 2, 3. Alright, then 2 frets down, 12, 10, 10. You get your C major, right? Alright, so So just pay attention to those root notes. Take this really slow when you do these exercises, and just do one string set at a time, and just pick one for like a week or two, and just stick with it until you just memorize, where everything's at. And as long as you know where the root notes are, you can move them around all the time, right? So just practice slow and have fun.